The Ravens have a new offensive coordinator. Like the video, comment below. Do you like it, love it, or hate it? All on this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Yes. Welcome back to this kind of breaking news emergency episode 375 of the Purple Rain podcast, the Jonathan Ogden episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Welcome back. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. We truly appreciate it. As always, you can follow us on Instagram here at the Purple Rain podcast. On Twitter or Instagram, this guy beside me, you got Sutton Def. At Sutton Def on Instagram and on X. Me, Instagram simply as10.prod, X simply as10. And yeah, breaking news coming out probably about an hour and a half ago. The Ravens have their new offensive coordinator under Jesse Minter in this Minter era. Minter is coming. I tell you what, it feels like Minter outside. Boy, oh boy, just got in. So I'm still wearing my coat. I want to just tell you right now, it is 11 degrees where I'm at.
Holy shit.
And the feels like it's 3 degrees. It is very cold here, but it is fine. It is fine. The cold never bothered me anyway, as some say. But I'm feeling good. Happy Friday to you, Sutton. Hope you're feeling good. I know we talked about before. We'll get our instant reactions, knee-jerk reactions. But as always, I want to explain. We have the giveaway, the Lamar Jackson giveaway coming up. Honestly, in what? A week and change?
A week.
Well,
a week.
Super Bowl is next week. We got the Pro Bowl this week. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. So for members only. So if you are a member, I think we have what now? 28. I think Void gifted that last night. So that would make it 28. All right. So 28 members. So you have a 1 in 28 chance right now to win that Lamar Jackson Ravens jersey. So if you want to get him, become a member. We'd appreciate it. And be entered in for that raffle for the Lamar Jackson jersey. But yeah, boy, oh boy, it is definitely a day right now. Definitely, I'd say a week or 2 weeks in Ravens news. We had some Madabuike news come out as well. So I'll talk about I don't know where you want to start off at. I guess, the OC is the biggest news, but it's Friday. So happy Friday, first off.
Yes. Happy Friday to you too, Alex, and the entire Rain gang watching right now, whether or not you're watching live or if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, make sure you leave a replay gang down below in the comments and let us know what you're thinking about this Declan Doyle nonsense, right? This Declan Doyle bullshit, dare I call it. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm not too happy about the hire. I'm just going to say that right here, right now. Hey, look, we already got 80 people watching live right now. Shout out to y'all. We're going to get into it. I'm not a fan of Declan Doyle as the new Ravens offensive coordinator, and I'm going to tell you why. But we got some members here in the chat. Shout out to all of our members. They're automatically entered to win that free Lamar Jackson jersey that Alex just spoke about. DeWiz says, DeBrickashaw Ferguson outside. DeBrickashaw Ferguson is absolutely nuts. I think that's a Key and Peele reference, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty funny. Shout out to you, DeWiz. Tila M is in the chat. What's going on, Tila? We also have Ashley in the chat. Again, all members here at the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate y'all, each and every one of our members. Kenny says, let's get this started in the chat. Yes, sir. We're here. Like the video, guys, before we get into anything, before we break down this Declan Doyle nonsense, like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. And again, consider joining that membership if you want a chance to win that Lamar Jackson jersey. Okay. So, just getting back from the gym a couple hours ago, getting ready to, eat some lunch, hop in the shower, enjoy the rest of my Friday. But just as I predicted last night on episode 374 of the Purple Rain podcast, Alex, I said that big business gets done before the weekend starts. And boy, did it get done today. The Ravens made probably the most crucial hire, of the offseason. Of course, head coach was crucial. Jesse Minter, we've already talked about that at length, but we knew when the Ravens got a defensive-minded head coach, the offensive coordinator position, that pick was going to be imperative. Like, the importance of that pick was paramount. And I'm on record saying it did not make sense for neither the Ravens or Declan Doyle to come together and make this move. Now, why did I say that? Why would you say something like that, Sutton? Well, number one, Declan Doyle was only a 1-year offensive coordinator underneath the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson. So after only 1 year of being offensive coordinator, by the way, not calling plays either, we're going to entrust this 29-year-old Declan Doyle. And yes, he's 29. He turns 30 in March. I thought he was already 30, but he's 29. Kid's younger than me. Same age as Lamar Jackson. We're giving this 29-year-old kid, which relative to the situation, feels like we're giving a 17-year-old kid the keys to our Lambo. And I don't like it. He has no experience play calling, right? And from what I know, he's a film junkie, right? He's a preparation guy. Those guys excel behind the scenes. Maybe in a couple years, once he gets a little bit more experience under his belt, you know what I mean? This is the first year of him being in the playoffs as an offensive coordinator. Hell, again, first year as an offensive coordinator in general. And in Baltimore, the stakes are way higher than they are in Chicago, Declan. I just want to let you know about that. Alex, I'm going to let you go in a second. I know you love the move. I don't. I expect us to go back and forth on this one. Again, 1 year in Chicago. He's coming to Baltimore now, who has Super Bowl aspirations. It is legitimately Super Bowl or bust for this Baltimore Ravens team. And again, we bring in a guy who's wet behind the ears, green as hell. What is he supposed to do for my offense? What's going to happen when this film junkie and preparation guy, what's going to happen when the bullets start flying in real time? What's going to happen when it's the second half of a fourth quarter game, we're down 2 scores, and everybody's turning their attention to him and saying, hey, Declan, how are you going to pull us out of this one? Well, I don't know. I've never called plays before, so let me just throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. I'm not a big fan of it. I understand he's a young offensive mind. You can mold him. He was a tight ends coach here. He was a defensive assistant there. And that's another thing. Alex, I'm going to say this last thing, then I'm going to let you go. Declan Doyle, not defensive assistant, offensive assistant, my bad. Declan Doyle was not an offensive coordinator with the Bears. He was a glorified offensive assistant. Ben Johnson said himself when he hired Declan Doyle, I want somebody at OC who's going to stay the extra hours at the facility, watch the tape, watch the other team's tape, and tell me the best game plan. So when Sundays come, I can call the proper plays. So what's going to happen when you have this kid who's graduating from 1 year OC, a non-play calling OC, to a fully play calling OC? Because guess what, Alex? Guess what? Jesse Minter and whoever our new DC is going to be, they're going to be pretty hands off to that. Is hey, Declan, you got us, right? You got us, right? You can call the you can come up with the game plan and you can call the plays, right? I feel like it's just going to be a lot on his plate. I feel like it was just a little bit too early for Declan Doyle. But Alex, I'm going to toss it to you. With that being said, what are your feelings on the Ravens hiring Declan Doyle as the next offensive coordinator for Lamar Jackson? It's only going to be a 1 year rental, like I told you before we went on air. So Lamar's not going to be able to grow with this guy at all. He's going to get a head coaching job somewhere else if the Ravens even get 10 or 11 wins next year. What are your thoughts on Declan Doyle, new Ravens offensive coordinator? Let me know.
It's interesting. To preface this, from a team that just cleaned house basically of a defensive coordinator who called plays for 2 years, was a linebackers coach for 3 years, gets the DC nod, and shit the bed. We'll get to Matt Ross's real quick. I'm happy about the pick. Film junkies are the best. I'm a Heat fan, and our coach started in the film room and won multiple chips. Don't what has been Cliff. This will tie in to what I'm saying. To go with somebody, Dry Coconut, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. To go with somebody unproven in calling plays is a gamble. I love it. You need a gamble. You need to hopefully hit that blackjack, hit that 21. And there's some things I do like about this, and I'll get into them. Ben Johnson was asked. Let me make sure Ben Johnson was asked, what he wanted in his OC. He wanted somebody that watched tape for him, find weaknesses, strengths, and opportunities that would help, play design and game plan. He was the right-hand man for Ben Johnson, the same Ben Johnson that I think everybody and their mother wanted in the NFL, and even were willing to wait a year for them to be their head coach. This is the same guy 6 years ago when he was, 23, maybe 22, 23, 24, working with Sean Payton. Great offensive mind. Some of the biggest nuts I think we've ever seen on a head coach before. It hurts him, don't get me wrong. It hurts him as a head coach, but it won him a damn Super Bowl with the Saints. We're not asking him to be a head coach, asking him to be an offensive coordinator. For me, and this can be my maybe, biggest, what am I, you call me a millennial? I think having an offensive coordinator around the same age, if not the same age as Lamar Jackson, is huge. Tell me something we don't know. What do you have in common with Greg Roman, Todd Monken? Hell, it could be just their lingo that they know could help him, improve as a quarterback. It's stuff like that. I hate to say it. I even saw a really, really cool article today about how these younger head coaches and the fact that they played Madden has made them a better game manager and a better coach. I think these two just having that same just age range can't hurt. I think it'll just be.
I don't like the Madden comparison though, because listen, man, when you're at home, locked in your room, pajamas, you know what I'm saying, like sweatpants on, whatever, and you're just playing Madden, the stakes aren't high. There are no stakes. You know what I mean? You're playing in Baltimore, Charm City, right? These people expect a lot. They're like Philadelphia light. I mean, Declan Doyle turned down the Philly job to come here and coach the Ravens. There might not be as much scrutiny in Philly, but I'll tell you one thing. If you listen, we all expect that defense to take a step forward this year. Jesse Minter, head coach, right? We're going to talk about Madabuike and the big news, some big news there. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But the offense is going to be facing a lot of pressure, a boatload of pressure, especially when you have Lamar Jackson. The expectations are sky high. I just don't think that the whole Madden thing, Alex, is going to apply here. The bullets are going to be flying in real time, whizzing by his head. Declan Doyle, all 29 years of them. And I get what you're saying. He might be able to relate to Lamar Jackson. I love that. I'm on record saying I love younger coaches who can relate to Lamar Jackson. I feel like Jesse Minter was the perfect medium of that. 42-year-old, had some experience here and there, won a natty with Michigan, top 5 defense. He was calling plays in LA. Declan Doyle feels very experimental. I would have felt much better if our DC pick had the same level of experience as a Declan Doyle. Because I know, like you said yesterday, Alex, the DC pick is going to be a developmental guy. I felt like, me personally, I don't know how you guys at home feel about this. Let us know down below in the chat, comment section, super chat, whatever you got. I feel like the OC should have been somebody who's a little bit more seasoned. Is that crazy to say, Alex? Is that crazy?
I don't think it's crazy to say. And for real quick, DC, if they get Jim Leonard, I'd be ecstatic. As for your first DC job, to come back to a team you played to and, you aren't calling the plays, but you can learn more because he has not been a DC at the NFL level. I think it's a great hire if we were to get him. I can see why he picks the Bills. But I do, I have some pushback. I know somebody you wanted as head coach was Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur doesn't call the plays in LA. Sean McVay. Kevin O'Connell didn't call the plays in LA. Great head coach. So, I get what you're saying. And for me, I have stupid bias of why I like Declan Doyle. It's so stupid. Not even football related.
Arsenal Football Club.
Yes, it is. Declan Rice, Declan Doyle. Just the name. You can't go wrong with the name. But going back to just strictly football purposes, when you've been around guys like Sean Payton, hell, Ben Johnson, it helps you out. And same way Sean McVay was a tight end coach and OC for 1 year and got hired by the Rams. They looked at the Rams like they're crazy. We're getting looked at by the Bears fans as why we're crazy hiring this guy. And I love it. I have not seen the Ravens do, risk-taking stuff like this in a while. I mean, they did Zach Orr, but
That was a risk. Look how that
right
played
there,
out for us.
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I mean, at the same time, we had Weaver as well there, and we had Darrell Wilson. We didn't have those guys sitting in the ranks right now for the O. Um, and come on, they definitely had to consult the quarterback about this as well. So,
Well, I don't know. I mean, did they? I hope so. I hope they consulted Lamar Jackson about it. I mean, you make a valid point. I mean, a 29-year-old Declan Doyle, maybe he can relate to a 29-year-old Lamar Jackson. Who knows? I mean, 29-year-old kid from Iowa, 29-year-old kid from Pompano Beach. Maybe they do come together and they hit it off, right? I don't know. I don't know. But my biggest thing, again, my biggest worry, my biggest concern is that when the going gets tough and you're really relying on that offense to either make a comeback late in a game, you know what I mean? If we're relying on that offense to maybe jump out to an early lead against an opponent that has a very high octane offense, can he do it? Right? Can he do it? He's got the Jimmies and Joes, right? He's got Lamar Jackson. He's got Derrick Henry. He's got, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, hopefully Isaiah Likely. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the episode as well. But I just don't know. I'm just not for certain. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of scares me. Like I was perfectly fine with taking the risk of going for a Jesse Minter. I felt like it was the perfect mixture of risk and being safe. Getting a Jesse Minter as a head coach. He was familiar with the organization, which was kind of the risk. We wanted somebody who was a little bit out there, right? But it's also safe because he's actually called plays before. He's called plays. This guy has never called plays. So you're getting a guy who is fresh as hell, as a spring chicken, going to call plays for an offense that is expected to be laying somewhere in the 5 to 10 range in terms of productivity. Honestly, top 5. You have Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the National Football League. There's going to be hella expectations. Lots of them. Appreciate all the super chat donations, guys. We had one from Mad Roster earlier. We had one from Justin Hayes, 3774. Shout out to you. We also have one. This one's coming from the Great 174. Let me see. The Great 174 donating $5 says, I've seen you on several shows advocating of non-play callers. Why the issue now? Todd was hella experienced and fumbled several games. This is true. This is true. And when you say that I've advocated for a lot of non-play callers, I think you probably are talking about when I advocated for Nate Shieldhouse. Now, how I'm going to respond to this, it might not land well with some of you guys, but I respect the Sean McVay tree just a little bit more than the Ben Johnson tree as of right now. I feel like there's more equity, right, and credibility that comes from the Sean McVay tree than the Ben Johnson tree. I don't know this kid yet. And listen, I'll say this right now. I'm rooting for him. I'm gonna be a fan of his. I have to be, because I'm a Ravens fan. I root for the purple and golds. Whoever's underneath that umbrella, I will be rooting for them. However, I would have preferred a Nate Shieldhouse over a Declan Doyle, right? Nate Shieldhouse, from everything that I know, he is the play designer, right? He is the creative mind. Didn't really know how he would look as a play caller as of yet, but the fact that he has that creative mind to actually draw up those plays, hand them in to Sean McVay and say, hey, look, here's what we should run on Sundays. Here's what I recommend we run at these times, things like that. I would take that over a Declan Doyle, who Ben Johnson was basically just entrusting him to be his assistant. Hey, I need you to stay till 9, 10 o'clock tonight and watch this film on the Packers and Jordan Love. You know what I mean? I need you to watch this film on Micah Parsons and Quay Walker, whoever else is on that defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel. I feel like Declan Doyle needed another year. That's not crazy to say. You can't make me feel insane for saying that it should have just taken at least one more season with Declan Doyle. And again, like I said before, guys, this is just a rental. It's only a rental. You know what I mean? So, like, even if the Ravens, let's say, make the playoffs, if the Ravens even make the playoffs, you can kiss Declan Doyle goodbye. And there will be a lot of instances where Lamar Jackson makes Declan Doyle look like a genius, look great. And if the Ravens can muster up 10 to 11 wins, make the playoffs, Declan Doyle's gone. Then what? So it's just going to be like a carousel there. But But appreciate your super chat donation. Great ones. We also have another one coming in from Justin Hayes. Justin Hayes is just making it rain here tonight on this episode of the show. Justin says this is the first reason, presumably, that Lamar Jackson will have a more multi-layered offense where the cape does not have to come on. Alex, how do you respond to that?
I like it. He's had years where obviously not every game he had to come and put the cape on. Unfortunately, for the first couple of games this year for the Bears, the offense had to put the cape on. The defense was giving up 28.4 points a game. It was bad. I think what I liked about their offense this year was they were able to integrate that run game back. And I think that made life a lot easier for Caleb Williams. Not saying that he's a game manager by any means, but I think when you have a DeAndre Swift and a Kyle Monjanai able to at least carry some of their weight load, come on now. You have a Derrick Henry. All right. I know he obviously didn't put the numbers he put up in 23. Still put up pretty damn good numbers running behind Daniel Falele and Andrew Voorhees. That's neither here nor there. I don't think. Maybe both of them are starting come next year. Also, one thing about the Bears, too. They had a great revamp of the O-line. If there's anybody that knows how good of a line can save your offense, it's going to be Declan Doyle. Think about the Bears 2 years ago, before they got Joe Tooney, before they invest in their O-line. You were getting shots of, was Caleb Williams worth that number 1 overall pick? They're throwing all those guys. Like, was he the third best quarterback drafted that draft? You get him a line, get that run game going. Now look, he's generational again. But the cape's gonna have to come on at some time. At some point, that's just how good of a quarterback he is. But if we can keep it down, I like it a lot. But I'm still feeling good about this, and I actually just pulled up some interesting things about Declan Doyle. So I'll let you go first. But I do want to just kind of introduce who this guy is and his affinity for football.
Sheesh, what was I gonna say? Kind of lost my train of thought. You guys say hello to Ace. You guys are very familiar with Ace. You can go ahead and go ahead with the background of him though.
Yeah. Reading this, it kind of makes me like him more. As a kid, they would give him cards with X's and O's. I guess I'm guessing he came from a football family, but 5, 6, 7 years old, drawing up plays. When I kind of mentioned the Madden thing, like me and you, we grew up. I know I did playing it. I was introduced to like the football, like the plays, the formations, all that before, and my brain was still developing. That's why I think guys growing up now, like they have, not saying they know more about the game, but X's and O's wise, there's the reason guys like me and you our age throwing us in there OC, and it's working. And I think this youth movement is like what I'm kind of excited for. I haven't had this youth movement seen with the Ravens. We had 60-something-year-old, not trying to be, talk about age, but we had an older Greg Roman, an older Todd Monken. What worked for them worked. This guy still has growing. And with all due respect, Caleb isn't Lamar. Lamar isn't Caleb. But I think what he can do, what he can draw up, I'm excited for. And will there be growing pains? Yes, but hopefully get him out the way sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what this can be. And also his tree. I mean, he's worked with coaches like Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell, Sean Payton, obviously.
Sean Payton, yeah.
Been around some great football minds, and obviously Aaron Glenn wasn't the best in New York, but that's the Jets. I'm not going to forget what he did defensively with the Lions either.
Sure. Two things I want to address. One thing, I lost my train of thought about 30 seconds ago. I remember now. A lot of the offense this year that I saw from Caleb Williams and the Bears, even when they played the Ravens earlier this year, when we had Tyler Huntley and we beat him, you guys remember that? They seemed very reliant on those first 15 plays, those scripted plays, right? And then it honestly seemed like their offense low-key tapered off, and outside of some Caleb Williams heroics here and there, you didn't really see too much. If Swift and Manungai, like you mentioned, aren't going off, you didn't really see too much. So I think that you might see a similar thing here in Baltimore. I feel like he'll have this offense humming probably early in games. First 15, we'll probably go down. We'll be scoring more touchdowns than we did this year, under Todd Monken. However, after that, my worry is all of it's going to be placed on Lamar Jackson. After those scripted plays, those first couple of drives, all of it's going to be, hey, look, Lamar, save us. I hope not, but that's my thought right now. Now, to address your Madden point, you're right. I did grow up, playing Madden and kind of learning the X's and O's through that before actually playing like pound ball and stuff like that. But So no, I think that that's a decent point there, where these guys actually they grow up, and when they're at a very very young age, very tender age, they're playing Madden, and then they all of a sudden they start coaching football, and they start being around the game and stuff like that, and they already have kind of that you know that like football acumen in a way, right? Because they've been playing simulations of the game ever since they were young. So I can see what you're saying there. Let's move on here. We do have a couple more super chat donation. This one's coming from the Joker 811. What's going on, the Joker? Says it's been a while, fellas. It has been a while since we've seen the Joker in our chat. Says how you feel about the Ravens getting new uniforms? That has been rumored. Alex, let's toss it to you on this one.
I love uniforms, collect jerseys. I cannot wait. I was just telling you, if you want to get a Ravens jersey now, they're pretty cheap, like $70 on Fanatics for the jersey. So I definitely think go on there if you want to get one, or you can just be a member and run the risk. Run the risk. Maybe you like your chances. 1 in 28 right now to get yourself a nice little Lamar Jackson jersey as well. But no, I'm super excited. Whether it be the new purple, white, black, color rush, maybe even like an all white. Give me an all white helmet, like a little snow concept uniform as well. I like that. But I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited too. I saw somebody, a fan, post like some concept jerseys on Twitter the other day. I was gonna bring it up on the show. I was not the biggest fan of the concepts, but there were some things that I did like about it. Maybe I'll bring them up maybe sometime next week. But appreciate you, the Joker, for finding your way back here to the Rain Gang. The Joker's been watching our show for some years now. This is his first time back in a little while, so we missed you, man. Thank you for coming back. Hopefully, you come back and you hang out with us through this off season. We have another one. This one's coming from the great ones again. The great ones making it rain, just like some other people here in the chat today. Thank you so much, the great ones, dropping the 5 piece donation, making it rain here in the chat. Says we just need to add very good personnel around Minter and Declan Doyle, like McDonald did with Leslie Frazier. We nail that, and we are up. Again, Declan Doyle is going to inherit a hell of an offense, right? And it's funny to me that he turned down the Eagles job, who has a Jalen Hurts, who has a Saquon Barkley, who might still have an AJ Brown, but they do have a Devonta Smith. They've got some pieces, and he said, I'm good. I think I'm all set on coaching the Eagles, right? And so he comes over to the Ravens, and he's going to inherit, again, Lamar, Henry, all those other guys as well. One more thing. Says Doyle doesn't call plays. You're all over, bro. No, he doesn't call plays. He doesn't call plays. That's coming from What's Up Dog, another super donation. What's up, dog?
What's up, dog?
$2 chat says Doyle doesn't call plays. You're all over, bro. No, he doesn't call plays. That is a well-known fact. He is a tape guy. He grinds the tape for Ben Johnson and tells him, hey, look, these are our strengths and weaknesses. These are our upcoming opponent's strengths and weaknesses. And Ben Johnson kind of takes it from there. So no, he does not call the plays. But appreciate your super chat donation, dog. Okay.
I'll ask you this.
Go
what
ahead.
if you were to get like, I see, like an advisor, maybe like I remember in 20, like, this is not me comparing, not me wanting this, but in 2018, I know we had Marty Morningwig, and then Greg Roman was the tight ends coach who had an influence on the offense. What if we got a guy that kind of proven as maybe a positions coach or an advisor? Would that make you feel a little bit better about this as well?
It would. It definitely would. Again, man, because like, look, the kid's 29, right? Like he's the youngest offensive coordinator in the National Football League. And some of you guys might say that doesn't matter at all. As a matter of fact, Declan Doyle himself would probably say it doesn't matter at all. Let me get Alex in here. Here is a video of Declan Doyle talking about his age and why it doesn't matter.
You are currently the youngest offensive coordinator in the NFL. Granny Dinsky, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, is right behind you. But, it is something that, week one, Monday Night Football, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will mention it. Is that something that you embrace, you tune it out, or use it as fuel? Like, what is your reaction when it just keeps on being brought up?
It really doesn't matter to me. It's kind of one of those things, like the year I was born doesn't really determine how well I can do this job. I'm more focused on trying to be the best for our team, for our staff, trying to do everything I can to put our guys in position to have success. And so it gets brought up. I've been coaching. This is going to be my 10th season coaching. And so I don't really feel very young in it. I feel like I've been exposed to, some football, and I feel really comfortable doing the job. And that's the most important thing.
Shout out to Ari Myrov. He does a great job covering the league, and that was him interviewing Ravens' new offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle, asking him about, hey, look, do you think that like your age plays into anything? Like, how do you feel about people bringing up your age constantly? And he basically just gave the standard answer. He said, hey, look, that shouldn't matter, right? It doesn't have any bearing over how well I do my job. Very political. That's what he's supposed to say, right? And what else is he supposed to say in that situation? But here's another thing before we get to the super chat donation from Jeremy. Shout out to you, Jeremy, dropping the 5-piece in the chat. But here's another thing he said about shaping the offense around the quarterback.
Are there any lessons that you learned from building around a young quarterback that you saw Sean apply and Davis Webb and an entire offensive staff that now you could apply working with a young guy in Caleb Williams?
Yeah, you try to shape the offense around the player. We've tried to really give him a lot initially and really see what he can handle. And then from there, it's our job to shape it so that he has success. And so kind of narrowing in on, all right, what are we good at? What do we want to be doing here? What do we not want to mess with that might have been good with a different quarterback that may not fit our guy quite as well. And that's the biggest thing, is constantly evaluating and constantly watching the tape. Are we going to be able to perform at a championship standard, running this play or this concept or asking this player to do something? And so, that's the biggest thing, is just making sure you're paying attention to it and shaping it.
Okay, good stuff there. Very, very good stuff there from, again, new Ravens offensive coordinator, Declan Doyle. Let's switch back over here. Alex, when you hear Declan Doyle speak, and I'm sure you've heard interviews before about him, what are you thinking about him? What do you think?
I mean, he's just that young guy. I think it's kind of what's taking the NFL over right now, and the Ravens are kind of getting with the times. Like, the future is now, old man. Future is now. I like it. Obviously saying all the right things, but I feel like he wants to play players to their strengths. And something we touched on yesterday with Harbaugh, we weren't really playing our guys to their strengths. I look at the way he used a Colston Loveland in their first year. And I know we've also kind of seen the Ravens draft a rookie, and we don't really integrate them into the team. I think the days of that is gone. I really do. I think he'll get those guys involved early, which is kind of a blessing we've been asking for. And one thing I want to kind of bring up now, like, he used a lot of 12 personnel with I say Ben Johnson. It's kind of hard to take that offense, but I'm looking at Isaiah Likely and like Kolar. Like, one of them is going to come back. I think it's going to be Kolar, but I think Likely would have a big role in this offense. If they ran something similar to what the Bears ran, man, I think he would get his fair share. Definitely a lot more targets than he got in the past year. And obviously he was hurt, but I'm just not thinking of how this will impact our free agency. So, but going back to your original question, it's kind of everything I expect him to say. It's the coach talk, but that can only take you so far. Got to see on the field.
Yeah. And again, shout out to Jeremy Early here, dropping the 5-piece in the chat, making it rain here on this episode 375 of the Purple Rain podcast. Guys, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel as well. And if you do want a chance to win a free Lamar Jackson jersey, consider joining our membership. You will automatically be entered to win that. We will be announcing the winner Super Bowl weekend. So about a week away, we will be announcing the winner of that free Lamar Jackson jersey. But Jeremy's super chat donation says all this means is Lamar is going to have a lot of responsibility, helping with his offense, making the scheme together with the young OC. I love it. Yes. So and here's where I do like the hire. It feels like bringing in a young guy like a Declan Doyle, he will be wide open to collaboration, right? It's not like a Todd Monken who you bring in. It's not like a Greg Roman, these super, super duper tenured guys who are going to come in and is like, hey, look, this is how I want to run my offense. Either get with it or get lost. He's going to be super open-minded. I do like that. Also, you mentioned would I feel better if there's like maybe some senior advisory roles by somebody who's brought in, or maybe like some position coaches. I think that now hiring a Declan Doyle, a 29-year-old Declan Doyle, and I'll keep harping on that. I know he says he doesn't care about the age, but I do. Okay, I care about the experience, especially when you're that young. Making this hire of Declan Doyle all of a sudden makes the hires of all of the position coaches that much more important, right? the position coaches should be guys who are a little bit more seasoned so they can kind of pour into Declan Doyle with their knowledge, right? And he can take some of that, merge it with his own philosophies, right? Collaborate with the players as well and move that way. And also, I mentioned yesterday, Ronnie Stanley has been on record saying that, we want to be more involved as players in terms of like what we're running, how we're playing these games offensively, things like that. Again, with Declan Doyle, young guy, I think he'll be a lot more receptive to what the players are having to say, especially if he's calling plays from the field. Now, I don't know if Declan Doyle called plays from the field in Chicago or if he called them, he didn't call plays at all, or if he was up in the box. Do you know, Alex?
I believe he was up in the box because he was the right-hand man. I think he was the one telling what coverages the defense was running, what personnel I believe they were running. So we don't know if he'll be on the field as a OC, but I think he was in the box, I want to say, because Ben Johnson was calling the plays. But I think if you were to call plays, I want to say he probably would be like Ben Johnson and be on the field and maybe get his version of himself, to be up in the sky and, tell him what they're seeing.
Yes, and that's where those kind of like advisory roles would come in handy, right? Like get a guy up there in the box, but Declan Doyle, I need your butt on the field. Like I need you on the field, right? But thank you so much, Jeremy Early, for the super chat donation. We appreciate that. Listen, guys, over 340 people watching this episode live right now. Shout out to you guys. This is the Purple Rain podcast, a Baltimore Ravens podcast where we talk Ravens content every day. We're dropping Ravens content every day here. So if that sounds good to you and you are enjoying the content, please be sure to like this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. But yeah, I mean, anything else you got on this Declan Doyle hire? Oh, one more thing I want to say. One more thing that I like. The fact that he went to Iowa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was an assistant there. I think he'll be able, for that reason, to hit it off with a Tyler Linderbaum, who's also a Hawkeye, right? Like, I mean, he might be able to develop some relationships pretty early with some of the offense, which I do like that. But again, anything else on Declan Doyle before we move on here?
Welcome. Make a name for yourself and just have fun. I definitely am excited now. And you mentioned other coaches. Like I just put up the coaches we've lost. So we have a new OC. We don't know about T. Martin for our quarterbacks coach. I hope he's back as QB coach. I think Lamar definitely improved when he was there. We're not sure about our director of football strategy / assistant quarterbacks coach. We need a new receivers coach, a new tight end coach, a new run game coordinator, I believe a new offensive assistant, and a new offensive quality control. So before we want to say we hate it or we love it, there's still a lot of pieces in this offensive coaching staff that have to get filled up. And right now, he's knocking down the park with the offensive line hiring. You know what I mean? I think we all were just we saw what was his Dwayne Ledford.
Yeah,
we were very happy with that. So right now, for me, Jesse mentioned, I'm happy with the guy he's getting, and to go defensively, if we could get Jim Leonard, I'd be happy with that as well. But I'm happy. I'm excited for Declan Doyle. You have my backing, and go and lead a great offense.
Appreciate the sub, France. Appreciate that. I see the chat's going crazy right now. I see a lot of the original, the normal, usual suspects are in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I had the super chat thing brought up for a little while there. Those were going crazy. But Coach is in the chat. KLA Sports is in the chat. Mike, MF Flock Gang is in there. World Class, what up, what up? Miss Fancy Pants, I see you. Kwame is in the chat. Taurus is in the chat. That's my guy. A couple of new faces as well. KWG15. Let me see. Rainmaker. I don't know if that's a new face. It might not be a new face. I don't think that's a new face. Couple other ones as well. Welcome in to the Purple Rain podcast. Again, we are your hosts. I'm Sutton Def. That's my guy, Simply AS10 right there. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, respectively, at those handles. You can pretty much find us anywhere at those handles. So sounds good to you? Go ahead and make that happen. Give us a follow. And also subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time listening to the Purple Rain podcast, welcome in. You are now part of the hashtag Rain Gang family. So Alex, in conclusion about the whole Declan Doyle thing, as we've been talking about this for 40 minutes now, we'll move on. But
I can keep talking about it. I'm excited.
I can keep talking about it too. More to come on the next episodes of the show, of course. But listen, Alex, I just think that this Ravens team has sky high expectations. Okay, we are not, you know, we're not the who's an up and coming AFC team or just team in general. We're not the Jags who were maybe just like a couple of pieces away. We're not the, you know, whoever else in the league.
Say the Pats.
Dolphins, I don't care. Pats, yeah, sure. We're
Perfect.
not just like a couple of pieces away. I mean, we need like we're in legitimate like Super Bowl window right now. Right now. So we're gonna entrust this kid, 29 years old, to come in and coach up this offense and lead us to the promised land, right? I expect the defense to be very good. And if the defense is very good, it should complement the offense and vice versa, right? But I just would have preferred somebody who, number one, had a little bit more experience. That was probably going to be Cliff Kingsbury. Not the sexiest pick. I understand that, guys. I understand that. But he had a little bit more experience. And also, he was going to have a much longer leash in terms of how soon teams were going to be checking for him for head coaching roles. Declan Doyle could have stayed in Chicago for one more year under Ben Johnson with the same title of offensive coordinator. Could have stayed for one more year. And if the Bears would have had the same levels of success that they had this year, Declan Doyle could have went somewhere and been the head coach, right off the bat. So maybe he wants to come to Baltimore for a year, hopefully maybe 2 or 3, and call plays and kind of get his sea legs underneath him doing that job. But again, I think it's a rental. Is an inexperienced guy. And when those bullets get to flying, he could possibly, there's a huge possibility he could get exposed. And I just want to leave that out there, right? Because it's totally possible. But again, as a Ravens fan, y'all already know I'm rooting for him. I'm pulling for him all the way. I can't wait to see Ravens football. We still got 8 months to go right now, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Right, Alex?
I mean, yeah, there's like I said, we said this before the the show. We knew we were going to be on the opposite sides, and there's no wrong answer. I mean, you gave your reasons, you backed it up. I gave mine, I backed it up. I'm excited. I think I've been calling out for this type of hire for a while now, and this guy is 29. He's been in football for 10 years. Like, come on now, like you're 29. That's to me is insane. So like he has
Probably
that
been coached
knowledge.
since he was 19.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, like that to me is just very it's just intriguing. So this guy basically lives, breathes. I mean, they said he was drawing plays at 5 or 6 years old. Lives, breathes, eats football, and I'm glad to see what he can do. I'm happy with what he can do. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited now. I know I was excited when Monken was here, but who knows if we just landed on him. So that's that. I mean, however you want to look at it, good news, bad news. I can tell you what some good news was today. We got a tweet. We got a tweet from probably more. I call him one of the top 3 most important players on the Ravens roster. Top 3. Nnamdi Madubuike.
Yeah.
Been down since week 2 last year with that neck eye word. Don't know what it was. To be honest, we don't really have to know what it is because it's none of our business. What is really is most important is his health. I'm not sure what this tweet may mean. I took it actually just as like just a life thing. He said, what was it? I'm good or something, or we're good, I believe. Let me see what it was. I want to get it correctly, just spot on. He said, good news with the praying emoji. Good news. Not sure what that means. Not sure if it's football related, if it's life related.
Yeah.
But since we're football fans, we're going to act as if it's football news. Good news. To me, I'm not saying trading, I don't think there's anybody in free agency that you can sign that would have as big of an impact as we would have if getting Nnamdi Madubuike back. I know Trey Hendrickson is out there. Obviously, if you traded for Max Crosby, huge. But I'm not talking about trade, I'm talking about free agency. Getting this guy back, it would be insane. Would be huge, especially with, I think, the growth of Travis Jones last year. Having those two guys, together, man.
Yeah.
I'm just happy for him as a human as well, because I hope his dark days
For sure. Again, for those of y'all who don't know, Nnamdi Madubuike put out a tweet earlier today just saying good news with the prayer hands emojis, and it sent the Ravens flock into an absolute frenzy. Before I give my take on it, Taurus donating the $10 in the chat. Appreciate you, Taurus. Taurus making it rain, making a thunderstorm here on the Purple Rain podcast. Says, in the words of Fat Joe, we all the way up. Shout out to Fat Joe. Shout out to New York. Yeah, I mean, I want to feel as ecstatic as a lot of the Ravens fan base does about Declan Doyle. I do, but I have my reservations. I hope you guys don't kill me for that. I hope you guys don't unsubscribe for the channel for me being a little bit negative, today. But that's just how I'm feeling, right? I mean, I got to give y'all my raw, unfiltered emotions, right? My raw, unfiltered opinions. I feel like I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't. So again, shout out to y'all for rocking out with us. Shout out to you, Taurus, for donating the $10 super chat donation. We appreciate that, man. As always. Taurus is my guy. Taurus is always coming out to every single live stream, sudden reactions, participating in there. He's great, man. So shout out to Taurus. Big ups to him. Now, when it comes to the Madabuike good news thing, you mentioned, Alex, this could just be like just good news from a human perspective. Maybe it has nothing to do with football, right? However, I do think that Nnamdi Madubuike is a little bit smarter than that. I think he knows that tweeting something like that, like on Twitter of all places, you're gonna put good news with a prayer hands emoji and just nothing else, right? I mean, his freaking little nephew could have graduated from middle school or something like that. We don't know, but I think that he knows that would have elicited some sort of response from the Ravens fan base, and for that reason, I'm thinking that he probably got some good medical news. Now we don't know if it means he's going to be back next season, or if it means that just his football career is just not over in general yet. Maybe he's going to take a couple of seasons. Who knows? But I'll tell you this, Alex. If Nnamdi Madubuike is able to return for the Ravens next season and Jesse Minter inherits that, like you said, with the Travis Jones, with whoever we're going to get in the draft, who I'm sure we're going to bolster up that defensive line in the draft as well. And you're talking about a Mike Green, who I'm sure Jesse Minter will be able to unlock if Mike Green can put on 10 to 15 more pounds of muscle. And then also some of those other guys, Tavius Robinson, I mentioned, maybe Adisa Isaac, like you mentioned, who are you? Are you real? Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll unlock him. But having those two guys in the middle, Nnamdi Madubuike and Travis Jones, unstoppable force. Unstoppable force. You talk about pass rush from the inside. Travis Jones had 5 sacks this season. 5 sacks on the season. And Nnamdi Madubuike had 2.5 sacks in what? 2 games? 2 or 3 games?
A game and change.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I can only imagine the level of productivity if you have both of those guys on the field at the same time, getting coached up by Jesse Minter. Oh, my goodness. And then a big ticket player that EDC wants to bring in. This defense could be all world next year. All world.
And you bring up, you don't think he would just tweet this for any reason. His last retweet before this was October 30th, 2024. October 30th, 2024.
That says something.
He has also retweeted something, and I hate doing this. This is just so 2026. Retweeting a verse from the Bible saying, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people." So, listen, I'm not going to go completely, delusional, but it's good news. Whether it be for football or for just his health, which is honestly more important, I'm just happy. I'm happy for him, no matter what it may be. Like I said, we are football fans, so we will speculate the football of it. Yeah, getting somebody back like him, it's hard to replace him.
It is.
Ask the Chiefs to replace Chris Jones. See how they do. Especially prime Chris Jones. Obviously he was good last year, but I'm talking, 19, 20, 21, 20. Ask him to replace him. It's hard. So if he were to come back, that just is a huge boost. And we just been receiving so much good news. The stench left us. And now it's flowers, fresh air. It's nice.
Yeah. Shelly in the chat, shout out to you, Shelly. Shelly's one of our members here of the Rain Gang. We appreciate all of our members for coming through, rocking out with us here on this episode 375 of PRP. I see another member in the chat, my guy Herb, Prod by Urban Closers in the chat. Shout out to you for being a member here. Love all of our members here of the Rain Gang family, But yeah, I mean, again, I think Miss Fancy Pants put in the chat, does this mean that he's coming back or not? We don't know as of yet, but it can only be a good sign. It can only be seen as a good sign. And like my guy Alex mentioned, when you don't tweet for that long, normally when you come back, it's for something, it's for a reason. You're being intentional. You know what I mean? Again, if his nephew graduated from middle school or something like that, he probably wouldn't put that on Twitter. Probably goes to maybe Facebook, puts it in the group chat of his family, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a net positive. I think he's coming back. But we got to wait and see. But okay. Let's see. What else we got here? Alex, you got something for me?
I mean, like I said, Jim Leonard was in today for defensive coordinator interview. Still, I think we have I actually still have this up. So defensively, I know I talked about our offensive coaches that we still have to hire. Obviously, Zach Gore gone. Our defensive line coach, Dennis Johnson, has been reportedly hired by the Giants. We retained our inside linebackers coach, Tyler Santucci. We don't know about our outside linebackers coach, Matt Robinson. Assistant linebackers coach, George Godsey, has been hired by Georgia Tech. Then defensive backs, Donald D'Alesso was hired by the Giants. We bring in Mike Mickens from Notre Dame. Not sure about Chuck Pagano. Not sure about Chuck Smith. Not sure about Brendan Clark. And then assistant to the head coach / defensive assistant, Megan Rosberg, Jerry's daughter. She went to the Giants as well. So good amount of coaches defensively that have to be hired as well. But if you look at Mike Mickens, I like that hire. And then that's all we've hired for defensive right now. We don't know about, Dr. Rush or the other guys.
Yeah. The rest is yet to be seen. So we will continue to monitor that, of course, on this show, the Purple Rain podcast. Now, lastly, on this episode, Alex, I want to get into some news that dropped earlier today coming out of the NFL about the salary cap. The salary cap has been, ever raising the past couple of seasons. This year, they said that there's going to be about an 8 to 9% boost in the salary cap, which means that the Ravens have more freedom with money this year, which we know is going to be crucial, especially when you have the Lamar Jackson extension looming, right? You have guys like Tyler Linderbaum, Isaiah Likely, you know what I mean? And so many other guys who could have been cap casualties. This is looking very, very good. Alex, I mean, what do you think when you hear, the salary cap is going up again? Like, who do you want to bring back that we might not have been able to bring back?
First off, I want to extend our quarterback because that makes life a whole lot easier for us. That's kind of like the best news we could really bring to this. New coach, new OC. You bring me back 8 for more years and a free up cap. I'm feeling really good, especially the way that the AFC is kind of shaping up. Because who are the contenders right now after this year? Who's going to be the top couple of teams in the AFC? We don't know. It's kind of a crapshoot. Are the Chiefs going to be back with Bieniemy? I think Kelsey might come back, which I'm happy with because I think he makes them worse as an offense. Obviously, not in past years, but this year and then moving forward. But with Declan Doyle's offense, I would love Likely back. Kolar, obviously, for blocking reasons. I'd love to run it back with the 3 tight ends we have now. Wish a certain tight end wasn't there, but can't go back on that. And then Linderbaum, price has to be right. Don't want to go too crazy. I'm not really too big on any other guys, but Ricard, I think he'll go to New York.
Really?
He can go to New York. Yeah. He strikes me as a hardball guy. No disrespect. I think he would be the one of the guys to follow John. Kind of like how Owen Daniels would follow Gary Kubiak around. He's a hardball player. I think he would definitely follow him there.
I don't know about that one, Alex. I mean, no,
I
think Pat.
He's already commenting about it, like in posts.
Like is he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if I'm Eric DaCosta and you see you, bro, come on now. Let's be real here. Pat Ricard is Derrick Henry's best friend, and I don't mean like literally, but like on the field. You talk about the level of trust Derrick Henry has for Pat Ricard running behind him. I just don't think that you can let that go, especially when you're getting this young offensive coordinator and give him all the tools he needs, retain all the pieces he needs. Honestly, Jesse Minter has been proven to be able to do more with less. So if there's any time to start defunding the defense, it's right now. We need all the pieces we can get on offense to help this kid out. I'm just saying, I mean, Pat Ricard, Derrick Henry, Isaiah Likely, of course, Lamar Jackson. I think you got to, Tyler Linderbaum even, you got to keep these guys, right? Put your chips to the center of the table for the offense this year. I think that's what needs to happen.
All right. Can we do this? Can we do a bit of a keep or let go? I'll go through all of our UDFAs.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right. Starting now with Draymond Jones, acquired midway through the season, had 2.5 sacks when he was with us. Relentless, didn't give us everything we thought, but he definitely helped us out. Would you keep him or would you let him walk? Keep or walk will do.
See, we already starting off with a tough one. But with Draymond Jones, though, I will keep him. I think that, even as, a rotational guy, he came in and he made a big impact, rushing from the outside, rushing from the inside. He provided a lot of spark for that defense when they needed it. Him and Alohi Gilman, who I'm sure was going to come up in this as well. But now I would keep Draymond Jones. If the price is right, I feel like Jesse Minter can definitely take him to the next level. So I'll start with the keep for Dre Jones.
I would be the same thing. I'd love to keep him, maybe get a guy like Trey Hendrickson or Max Crosby next to him and draft a young edge rusher as well, because I know I think next year we have like one or two edge rushers who are under contract. So you got to think about that in the future as well. So I would keep him, maybe like a 2-year deal, then try to get Hendrickson or Max Crosby. You mentioned Alohi Gilman. Move on to him next. Keep or walk?
Walk. He can go. Gilman can go. I love the cover 3 looks, him, Starks, and Kyle Hamilton. And Gilman was good at times, but he missed a lot of tackles. We were asking him to do, I think, a little bit too much at times, and I feel like he's just expendable. You can get a guy out of the draft. You don't have to pay for a good 2, 3, 4 years. I would say cut.
Right there with you. Reason why he got traded from the Chargers, and not
For
Jesse
sure.
allowed him to walk once. He'll do it again.
There you go.
DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver.
This is a tough one, man, because we know D-Hop was all reliable for Lamar Jackson. It seemed like anytime Lamar needed a clutch first down, he was going back shoulder to him. Multiple times, for to move the sticks. So as much as I want to say keep, I'm still going to say cut because he's not getting any younger. I feel like, of course, Bateman, however you feel about him, he's going to stick around. I feel like Bateman might be able to take a step forward. Declan Doyle, look, you're this young offensive mind. Solve that Rubik's Cube. How do you get Bateman more involved? Because he's a former first-round pick. We've extended him, 2 or 3 times. He's gotten 3 contracts from the Ravens. Give us an ROI on him. Give us a return on investment on Bateman. I say we keep. What's his name? Cut D-Hop. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Bateman.
This is tough for me because I saw D-Hop make catches I hadn't seen a Ravens receiver make in a very long time. 1-on-1 contested catches. Third in the game, chain mover. Or third and 5, draw a PI. Did it against the Bears. For the right price, I would keep him. But I'm going to act as if we're not re-signing Lamar. I would let him walk because we have to be smart with our money. But if Lamar were to resign, I would keep him. I enjoyed what he did, but like I said, he's not getting any younger, but those hands don't leave him. So moving on now, this one for me will be easy. Kyle Van Noy, keep or walk?
Walk. Kyle Van Noy, you got to go, big dog. I'm sorry. And Kyle Van Noy's been real active on Twitter lately. Shout out to him, but it's just time, man. This is a guy who literally gives you 1 or 2 bursty plays, per game. Outside of that, man, he's glued to his guy, not really getting in the backfield. He can go.
Yeah, I appreciate he has like 23, 24 sacks when he was here. Came in midseason, put up double digits last year, put up double digits. This year obviously wasn't it, but I hope the Ravens kind of move on from this keep guys until they're really burnt out, and he's very close to being burnt out. It would be a waste to keep him. So thank you, Van Noy, but I would definitely let him walk. Tyler Linderbaum, center, keep or walk?
You mentioned it before. For the right price, I definitely think that we keep Tyler Linderbaum. I think that you rebuild the 2 guys beside him. Obviously, 77 is a free agent. He's not going to be back. Dwayne Ledford would never put his job on the line for a guy like that, I don't think. So as long as you replace 77 and you put Emory Jones at left guard spot, I'd say bring Tyler Linderbaum back. He did lose a lot one-on-one against nose tackles, like bigger, taller nose tackles this season. That does worry me. But I feel like a lot of his struggles came because he had to do extra work because the left guard and right guard were just, again, 2 cheeks of the same ass, right, as we like to say. So I say keep Tyler Linderbaum for the right price.
Yeah, I saw like the whole rumbling about $30 million a year. If it's that much, yeah, might have to let him walk. But like I said, for the right price, definitely would keep him. Darius Washington, small guy. Plays with his heart. Just plays with his hair on fire. All heart, all ball. Keep or walk.
Ardarius, man, I would love to keep him. I would keep him. If we're gonna cut Gilman, keep Ardarius. I'm with that. I'm with that for right now. Asmodeus dropping the 20-piece super chat donation.
Woo!
Appreciate you, Asmodeus, making it rain, making it thunderstorm. Let's go ahead and clap it up real quick for Asmodeus for that one, man. Clap it up, clap it up.
Wow.
Little air horn in there too. Shout out to you, Asmodeus, making it rain, making it thunderstorm here on this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Asmodeus, we appreciate you. Asmodeus, as always, we appreciate that. Says Sutton, you're totally allowed to have your opinion. However, I disagree about coach experience priority. Defense was ass last year, so having a more proven coach is more important. Worst case, offense has Lamar, MVP under Monk and Giro. I understand this. I understand what you're saying here, Asmodeus. However, I would not like to see Declan Doyle mismanage this Ravens offense, much like we've seen it be mismanaged in the past. You know, just because he's a young guy, I don't think that he is, impervious to making mistakes. You know, and if you're a Declan Doyle, he's going to have to quickly realize that he has to have a short memory. Drives that don't go his way, drives that end in turnovers and things like that. When his plans get thwarted, right? It's much like a boxer. Mike Tyson always says everybody has a plan, right? And he's a really big plan guy, Declan Doyle is. Everybody has a plan so they get punched in the mouth. That was a famous quote from Mike Tyson. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when he does get punched in the mouth for the first time, and there is no Ben Johnson to look up to. There is no Sean Payton to look up to. We're just going to have to see how he reacts to that. And I'll be happy to see if I'm wrong here and he gets to kicking ass in some of the biggest moments. I would love to see that. But what do you think, Alex, before we move on?
I would hate to see the whole Lamar Superman thing again. Team one is back. I want it to be easy for him. I want everybody around him to help. As for the defense being ass, yeah, I mean, that's why you get Jesse Minter. And I think that's why we're going through these keeper walks because, like you said, he did more with less last year. You look at the talent on the Ravens team compared to the talent on the Chargers team. You can argue the Ravens have more talent defensively, but boy, they're top 5, top 10 in defense. We're sitting all the way in the back, giving up 350, 380 to guys named Malik Willis. No disrespect, backup quarterback. Letting Drake May have his best game against us. Goes against the Chargers defense, 16 points in a playoff game, and he was given good field position multiple times. So, yeah, that's just how I feel about that. Sorry, I forgot on a little bit of a tangent, but
all good.
Defense being asked, it did piss me off last year because we're letting anybody and everybody have a great game against us. That can happen again.
For sure.
That cannot.
For
you know what I mean? So thank you, Asmodeus, for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you so much, brother.
Back to this Patrick Ricard, keep or walk?
Keep. I mean, I just talked about it, 15 minutes ago? I mean, I think that you have to have as many assets on this offense as possible to help out this young coordinator. And Pat Ricard is, as many people say, I think John Gruden says it's the best. Pat Ricard is the straw that stirs the drink on this offense, right? A lot of the offensive success in the past couple of years for the Ravens has been predicated off of Pat Ricard. There's been entire drives manufactured off of Pat Ricard's back. So it's like, keep him there. Let Declan Doyle utilize him, move him around, do what he needs to do. And yeah, keep him. Just keep him, man. That's what I think.
I'll tell you this. I don't think the Bears had a fullback last year. I don't. But at the same time, I saw the Ravens without Patrick Ricard. So if we were to utilize a fullback, I'm all for it. Definitely all for it. What is up, Mr. Loop? How you doing? Moving on now. Oh, this one is like somebody we like a lot. Tylan Wallace. Not his fault. He was getting all the targets last year, but a good special team player. Keep or walk?
I mean, unfortunately, I know he's basically playing for pennies, right? But I think it might be time to go ahead and part ways with Mr. Wallace here. So I'm going to say walk for Tylan Wallace.
Like him
just not enough. I mean, I love him. We love him. We love him, but it's just, he doesn't offer enough. He's had some great moments. Don't get me wrong. I was there for the walk-off touchdown against the Rams a couple of seasons ago. He's had some awesome moments, but he's just nowhere near a legitimate contributing factor on this offense. And I think that money is, as little as it might be, can go elsewhere.
Yeah, I do agree. I like Tylan Wallace a lot. Kind of when the ball is thrown his way, he catches it. I was there for the Bengals game. Tight walk the sideline and just touchdown. He would make his plays, but um, I'm the one who said you can't be giving out contracts to guys who aren't really, all pros or making a lot of plays. So I appreciate his time here. Thank you, but I think it is going to be a walk for Tylan Wallace. Moving on now. Joseph Noteboom, left tackle, keeper walk.
Get him out of here. Let him walk. Let him walk. I mean, I'm cool with Carson Vinson stepping up into that role. I mean, he looked pretty damn good, especially when he was right beside Emory Jones in a couple of those games when he was able to get in and do his thing. So, yeah, Noteboom, you can go up to the Giants for all I care. He can be a guy who Harbaugh poaches for sure.
Yeah, youth movement indeed. 30 years old. You mentioned, Carson Vinson. Like, it's about time we start getting these third, fourth, fifth, sixth rounder guys. Just some time in the preseason as well. It's valuable. There will be guys out there available in free agency if your guys don't work out the first 2 games of preseason. So I'm with you there. Walk. This one.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Sutton.
Uh-oh.
David Ajabo. Keeper walk.
Oh, come on. What are we talking about? I mean, get his ass up out of here, dog. I mean, you talk about no production, zero production. We're talking about being glued to your. I mean, his best highlight was what? Decleating Anthony Richardson in the preseason. I want to say that was his best highlight of the year. He does nothing. Get him out of here. Am I right?
He's like the Kenny Young. Kenny Young's highlight was taking the helmet off of Gardner Minshew in 2019. When your best highlight is in preseason, it ain't looking good. Yeah,
I'll drive him. I'll drive him to BWI myself. He can go wherever he wants to go. Wherever he wants to go.
All right. I was gonna say I think a change of scenery might be needed. might be needed. But you know what? Go to Seattle. Go link up with Mike Mack again. They can use you as a rotational piece and hopefully get your career on track. So I'm right there. Walk. Thank you. This one, Chidobe Awuzie, arguably our best free agent signing of last year's class. Keeper walk.
I think you keep Awuzie for one more season and you don't put as much draft capital into cornerback in this year's draft. I think, again, keep Awuzie, don't draft 4 or 5 corners, and go invest in those trenches. I mean, you invest in that defensive line, that edge rushing room, is going to make anybody who's back there in the secondary a whole lot better than they are right now. Adarius Washington, who I said keep, Chido Awuzie, Marlon Humphrey, who I'm sure we might, talk about. I mean, anybody. Like, yeah, I would say keep Chido Awuzie.
It sucks that our last memory of him is him on the ground against the Steelers, but I won't let that one. Kind of happy it happened now. I won't let that one play take away the great plays he had. Arguably won us a game against the Browns. That strip in Cleveland, Shador threw a perfect ball. I think he stripped away from the receiver. Was able to go, with Chase doing his best against him. You can use guys that come with. I definitely would keep Uzi for another year.
Yeah.
Super chat. Heard it. There it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As Modi is dropping another super chat donation in the house. Thank you so much, as Modi is making it rain here on this episode 375 of the Purple Rain podcast. As Modi says, I think young coaches equals young guys get more chances. Could be true. Could be true. We'll see what Declan Doyle does with some of the younger guys on the roster. But I still do think that we should make sure that Declan Doyle has a healthy mixture, of young guys, inexpensive guys, and then also veteran talent as well, who can kind of carry the load when need be. So I agree with that, and hopefully we do see some young guys get some chances, so that way we can start saving some money and cutting some costs in some other areas too. Totally agree, Asmodeus.
Good point.
Yeah.
Moving on now, these next couple are pretty easy. Taven Bryan, keeper walk.
A walk. Taven Bryan can go. Yeah.
Same. Brent Urban.
It's time. He can go. I mean, he's been around since 2015, something like that. Yeah, he can go.
Yes, and I appreciate him for coming back and being a great servant. But I agree there. Jake Hummel,
a warm body.
Jake Hummel, keeper walk.
He can go. Jake Hummel can get out of here. I mean, I understand the special teams angle, but guess what? We no longer have a special teams coach, right? And we also have Teddy Buchanan, who I know won't be back until maybe a little bit halfway through the season. There's still Roquan Smith. There's still Trenton Simpson. There's still Jay Higgins, right? So Jake Hummel, I'm all set on him. He can go.
I'm going to keep him for strictly special teams purposes. Had the block punt, came close on there a couple of times, but you bring up a good point. The special teams coaches, he's gone, so I'll keep him like a 1-year vet, man. And if anything more than that, sayonara.
See ya.
Tyler Huntley, keeper walk.
After this season, man, I can't really. I think you keep Tyler Huntley only because Tyler Huntley will be willing to take basically pennies to stay in Baltimore, right? I think he wants to be part of this new regime. He saw how the city wrapped their arms around him last year. I don't think he's necessarily worried about money. I mean, he's in progressive commercials and some more stuff now. So, like, I think he'd be willing to come back and play in Baltimore for cheap. So I'm gonna say keep Tyler Huntley.
That money he got to fix those teeth has made him a whole lot of money on the turnaround.
Good on him. Great investment. Great investment,
Tyler. I wouldn't stop smiling either. Yeah. Making money for commercial progressive? Hell yeah. I would keep Tyler Huntley. Cooper Rush, doors over there. Saw this guy come in less time and look more adjusted to the offense than I saw Mr. Rush, and he had the whole offseason. So it wasn't looking good for him. Huntley, you can stay. I appreciate you and thank you. Daniel Falele.
Next.
Okay. Charlie Kolar. Tight end Charlie Kolar.
You know what, Alex? This is gonna break a lot of Ravens fans' hearts around the world. But I would say cut Charlie Kolar. I'm nowhere near as big on Charlie Kolar as the rest of the fan base is. I know you're big on him. I know most people watching are big on him as well. I, however, am not. I get it. Blocking in certain spots, he's pretty good, but you can draft a guy. You can draft a guy who's going to play for even cheaper than Charlie Kolar. And the Ravens are historically known for drafting good tight ends. You can get somebody to replace Charlie Kolar, right? I just think he is, again, he's a good blocker, but he's very, very unathletic. Whenever he catches the ball, we talked about those Looney Tunes interceptions that Lamar Jackson was getting. Charlie Kolar is a Looney Tunes character, like just personified, right? I mean, every time he catches the ball, he does something goofy where it's like, oh yeah, he looks like some random kid out of high school, you know what I mean? Some nerdy kid out of high school who just stepped onto a football field, happens to be able to catch a little bit, but go back and watch Charlie Kolar highlights from last season and tell me whether or not you think he is a long-term option in Baltimore. I think he can walk. He can go. We can replace him.
I did see a photo. He walked on the field week 18 with no shoes on in Pittsburgh. Just one of those guys. I mean,
he's quirky on the sideline. He's so dope. You know what I mean?
For footballing purposes, I would keep him. I think blocking wise, that's how a guy like Nick Boyle made his whole career. Now, I wouldn't give him, the 3 years, $15 million Nick Boyle got, but something along the lines of maybe 2 year 6 or 2 year 8, I definitely would. I saw, when he wasn't out there blocking, offense wasn't as good running wise, so I would keep him definitely for that type of contract. Now, moving on from him to the other tight end, Isaiah Likely, keep or walk.
I say we keep Isaiah Likely for the same reasons you said earlier, Alex. I mean, you saw what Declan Doyle was able to do with guys like Colston Loveland, like very young guys. I mean, Isaiah Likely is about as talented as they come when it comes to the tight end position. He's not the greatest blocker. No, he can block in line very well. I mean, if he catches a guy off guard, he can decleat him for sure. But don't put him down, around the box and ask him to block down there. It's really not going to work. Kick out blocks and things like that is not his thing. But as a pass catcher and as a playmaker, he's a dog, right? And especially with, getting a Declan Doyle in, I think we need all the talent we can possibly get for him to work with. So I say keep Isaiah Likely for sure, especially if we're going to cut Kolar.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I want to keep all three of our guys. I think they all bring their own skill set. But for me, with Likely, I think I know where he would go if it's not here, and I wouldn't be happy with it. I still think the best is to come, and it's not his fault. I mean, it's not his fault he hurt himself and was out the first 4 games, and maybe he was never healthy throughout the year. We don't know, but I like to keep him. I've seen enough from him, especially when Mark Andrews went down. He stepped up. He's a playoff riser. I want more of those guys on my team as well. Big game players. So definitely keep an Isaiah Likely. And the final free agent, punter Jordan Stout, who, by the way, man, had a great year last year. Sucks we had to punt so much, but definitely turned it around, pinning them deep inside. Keep or walk.
I'm keeping. I am keeping Jordan Stout. I think that he has done a phenomenal job this season. And again, we had our doubts about him, of course, in the past couple of seasons, but this year he really stepped up, and you could tell. I mean, he was gaining confidence week to week. We're talking like coffin corner punts. We're talking this guy, pinning them super deep back in their own territory. It's just a shame that we weren't able to capitalize off of the great special teams play that he was giving us this season. So I'll say keep Jordan Stout for sure, 100%.
Right there with you. Definitely think the best is yet to come. Hopefully, we aren't punting as much, but he showed me enough last year. We have one one restricted free agent. I'm going to answer this for me and you. It's Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah.
Keep.
Keep Keaton. Hashtag keep Keaton.
Yeah, that one's pretty simple. If you don't want to keep Keaton, let's get our peepers checked, because you get the ball in his hands in space, he's gonna make a big play. So that was our keeper walk segment. I think we're agreeing on most of them. Don't want to overpay guys, but you want to keep your contributors, and I think we are going to do that. So extend Lamar, and makes it a lot easier to extend everybody else. But we also have Travis Jones. We extended him. He would have been a free agent this year.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Glad he's coming back, man. But I see we have Huddle It Up Films. Our guy Jason is in the house. What's going on, Jason? Appreciate you for coming through. Big friend of the show. Long time no talk. We got to get you back on here. Draft season is coming up. You guys know when draft season is coming up. You guys know we do our streams with Jason. He's real heavy on this channel around draft season. So expect to see a lot of Huddle It Up Films over here at PRP. I'm sure we'll be over on his show as well. We love us some Jason, man. Shout out to you, man. Hopefully you're doing well. But no, that was a fun segment. We kind of got to go through it. I saw you guys saying here in the chat, like, oh, Sutton doesn't want anybody. We're going to have to draft, we're going to have to acquire 25 new players. Hey, look, man, we got 11 draft picks. And to be honest with you, I don't see Eric DeCosta moving off any of those guys. So I think he's drafting for his job. I think Eric DeCosta is drafting for his job this offseason, right? And if you don't bring in anybody, if you don't bring in 3 to 4 like mid to high level starters, and that's a problem. That is a huge issue, and I think it's time to maybe start looking in another direction when it comes to general manager. If you're Steve Bisciotti, that's just me. But
Jason says we picked Sutton again.
I remember last time you guys picked on me for my Zay Flowers take. I think it was. That was funny. Good times. Go ahead.
He says Ali got to walk. I respect his game. I hate that now. Like John Harbaugh's kind of done irreversible damage on me. If you let Ali walk, you keep Tylan Wallace. Special teams gunner wise, it's like one of those two. That's what they're fighting for, is that job. Because you don't want I don't want Tez Walker gunning. Sorry, I think he's can contribute in the offense. I don't want him to get hurt out there. I think Tylan Wallace can go play kick return, punt return, gun as well on punt, and then can come in as well as a receiver and catch a ball for a first down, a couple of times.
I'll tell you one thing, Alex. Declan Doyle, new Ravens offensive coordinator. There's a couple of guys who I want to see him make not necessarily a focal point on this offense, but to have a role.
Okay.
A legitimate role. You mentioned one of them, Tez Walker, right? He needs to have a role, I think, from week 1. We saw throughout this season, this guy, he can burn dudes deep. He can get in the end zone. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the frame for it. You got to get him more involved. Number 2, Keaton Mitchell. There is no reason why Keaton Mitchell should be riding the bench for the first 7 to 8 weeks of the season. No excuses for that at all. Todd Monken and John Harbaugh were literally war criminals for doing that. Saw him come in week 8, week 9, week 10, something like that, immediately started producing. So those two guys specifically, I want to see Declan Doyle really utilize and bring to the forefront of this offense, right? When everybody's worried about the Derrick Henrys of the world, when everybody's worried about the Zay Flowers of the world, have those guys, burn defenses as well. That's what I want to see. But okay. I think that just about does it. No, you have anything else? You see anything else in the chat or what?
I think that's it. I agree with you there. The two guys who want to see, maybe get increased snaps and increased targets. Would love to see those two. I mean, I think as Ravens fans, we try to hype up the day 2, day 3 receiver because we see other teams, have that guy, and we think it's our turn. Maybe it is with Declan Doyle, but I don't know. Tez Walker, I think if he dropped a couple of passes last year, but everything outside that, he was burning guys. I mean, hell, was trusted on the 4th down in Pittsburgh, Week 18. Came up big. Maybe that's just the beginning. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
Hour and 20 in, lot that we talked about today.
A lot we talked about. And one thing I forgot to do this. It is Friday, guys. I am part of the Sippers community, Sip to Tally, Coach Evans. I do have a little drink right here. I'm going to take this drink here to commemorate for the Ravens flock, the Rain Gang. I got my little Ravens shot glass here. You know what I'm saying? This is to a wonderful offseason. It has already been into a wonderful offseason. It will be going forward. Shout out to everybody part of the Rain Gang. Thank you guys for liking this video. Anybody who liked this video, anybody who subscribed to this channel, anybody who's a member, anybody who's a super chat donator, anybody who puts anything down below in the comments, if you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all of that, this is for you. Cheers.
Freaking cheers. Happy Friday. Happy freaking Friday.
Woo. Damn. That shit burns, man. That shit burns, dog. I'll tell you. But yeah, goes to show how much love I have for you guys. Again, this has been episode 375 of PRP. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe if you are new. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. We love y'all. And we will be back. Jeez, man, my throat's still burning. We'll be back on Monday, right? We'll be back on Monday to talk about and preview the Super Bowl, talk about maybe we make a DC hire over the weekend. Who knows? But either way, make sure you stay locked in with PRP by subbing to the channel. Consider joining our membership. We are giving away that free Lamar Jackson jersey. All of our members are in the running automatically. So if you're already a member of PRP, don't even worry about it. You're automatically getting a chance to win that jersey. Again, color of your choosing. We will be announcing the winner on Super Bowl weekend. So make sure you stay tuned for that. With that being said, Alex, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Be safe if you're in Maryland or the East Coast where it's cold out. Stay warm. Tell you this, I walked about 500 yards yesterday without gloves, and my hands felt like they were frozen. So make sure you are bundling up. Don't want anybody to catch frostbite. Like I said, stay safe. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for coming to episode 375, Purple Rain Podcast. As always, stay positive, test negative.
Yes, yes, yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. This has been episode 375 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace. All over the place. Here we go.